YouTube, it's here in 619 coming back at you here with another video. I mentioned in my last video that took a couple of days off from work because they're kind of remodeling my office and kind of doing a little remodel on the clinic here. So took a couple of days off to let them do what they need to do. And I decided to go to the LCS, and boy, am I glad that I did because I found something in there that's just absolutely incredible. I walked in there today, and there's a guy. Sometimes in different card shops, the owners will rent out space. You can buy a little space in their glass, fixtures. And this guy had did that, and he was in there with his 1955 Bowman set, and he was breaking it up and selling them, individually. So. Um, Man, I'm just glad I walked in there and I found this card. I've been looking for this card in a while, in a certain condition, and it's a tough card to get because in the 55 Bowman set, it's a high number, and some of those high numbers are short prints, and when they pop up on eBay, they're not really in the best of condition. So I just really stoked that I could find this guy's card in this type of condition. So. I thank you, seller, at my LCS for having this card and bringing your set to, sell because I'm really stoked and about owning this card now. Finally, I got it in a condition that I'm happy with. So we're talking about a Negro League player. I've set a little background here with Bob Boyd here on the left. That's his 53 rookie card, and Gene Baker, which is pretty popular. That's his 55 rookie card, and then Bob Trice on the right there, rookie card here. These are all Negro League players that have made it into the majors, and each one of those players have a unique story. But I'm not here to talk about those guys today. I'm excited about this one player that I got. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with this guy. And I just can't believe that I was able to find this. Let me see if I can get that to focus a little better there. There we are. This card in the LCS at this with this type of condition. I mean, just an absolutely incredible card. And those who don't know who Tom Alston is, you should know. If you're a St. Louis Cardinals fan, and if you ever wondered who the first black player to play for the Cardinals is, look no further. Here he is right here, Tom Alston. Just an incredible player in the Negro Leagues. And he didn't have a long major league career, and I'll talk about that a little bit later to why that is. But he was highly recruited, back then because, he was a good hitter. He was tall, he was fast. This guy was about 6'5" to 6'6", and probably weighed about between 210 220 pounds. So he had this long skinny frame, man, and boy could he run fast. He played multiple positions, but best known for playing first base and third base. He was just absolutely incredible, but he began playing his career for a black traveling team that was known as I think it was Goose and Red Wings, if I'm pronouncing that right. But later on, it became Greensboro Red Wings, which is a team that was based out of North Carolina. That's actually where he was born. He's a North Carolina native, so. And he also played for other barnstorming teams like the Jacksonville, Florida Eagles, which was managed by a former Negro League player in Chet Brewer. A lot of people might know who Chet Brewer is, just of what he's done in Los Angeles. He impacted so many players' lives, like Eddie Murray. Definitely, if you ever read Eddie Murray's story, he'll give props to Chet Brewer because of him. He kind of kept Eddie Murray on a straight path. So, just awesome. So, but back to Alston. Again, he was just a tremendous player, but he suffered from a lot of depression. And again, I mentioned this in a lot of videos. Players that black players in general that played back in the 50s, you will hear that word a lot. But this was a man that he tried to hit big league pitching while hearing voices and battling chronic fatigue and carrying the weight of being a racial pioneer in the Jim Crow City. I mean, what are you going to do with that, man? Not everybody is Jackie Robinson and can have a backbone like that, man. You had to put yourself in his shoes and imagine what it was like for him, walk in his shoes where you're constantly being called the N-word. You're constantly being told you're never going to make it. You're constantly being told you don't belong here. Not everybody can deal with that. He had dealt with a lot of anxiety, and it ruined him. It ruined him. He spent most of his life in torment and poverty. He never escaped the grip of mental illness, which ended his baseball career, which is very unfortunate. But for me, this is a card that means a lot to me because of just I know what type of man this guy was. I've read so many books on Tom Alston, and I felt like I can say I know him because when you read a lot of books and each book is confirming one thing, 10 to 1, it's right. And some of these writers have described who he was and what it was like for him to, just raw. And it felt like, I was there, I felt like I was walking in his shoes. And so I feel like I can honestly say I understand, but glad that I can add this rookie card to my collection. But St. Louis got this guy. The guy was originally going to be a Padre, and they ended up making a trade deal, and he ended up in St. Louis. And boy, were they excited about having him because of what he did in the minors. I mean, he was cracking them in the minors. So, but again, what do you do, man? I mean, guys suffered from, anxiety and depression and all that. And that, whenever you hear that, that they're talking about different racial things. And basically, it was hard for him to get through it. Basically put it to the side, so to speak. But I'm just super stoked, man, that I can own this card now. Finally, I got one in a condition that I'm really, really comfortable with, and this is just going to look really fantastic along with all the rest of the Negro League players that I got. Finally, Tom Alston. So that's my day, guys. Picked this up. Thank you again to my LCS. I'm glad I walked in there. It was meant to be. I'm glad that I got this card. I know that some folks, this may be a common card, but to me, this card is just much more than that. So, and that's all I got, guys. So I'll be back again sometime today because I want to get through a stack of these pitchers cards back there. Talk a little pitchers, and we'll go from there. So, as always, guys, you guys stay blessed out there, and I'll talk to YouTubers on the next one. Bye.